Alright, birthday Howard, birthday Howard Shai, birthday Howard, birthday Howard Shai, Kalpalaya Howard, Bashing Howard Shai, Bashing Howard Kakadash, double honor to the elder apostle, great Moses, who will sincere tight taking the option that put in the truth across the four corners of the earth through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashing Howard Shai, that the hope will elect. And double honor to the elder apostle, great Moses, who will. And shalom to Salaki salutations to the Israelite foreigners that are scattered among all us throughout the four corners of the earth, among all the nations that believe in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and shalom to the sister and family that are tuned into this doctrine that's preached around the whole world. Peace and mercy unto you, and who the world inwardly called God, his name is Yahweh, who the world inwardly called Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai. And the Hebrew Israelite that consists of you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, and those whose lines go back to one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, this article came out a couple of days ago. It's on The Guardian. It's the Bill Barr with the Attorney General, the Attorney General on the federal level, okay? The Bill Barr reportedly suggested bringing sedition charges against protesters. Alright, the really used charge means a person plotted a threat that poses imminent danger to a government authority. Alright, so you gotta look at the word sedition. It's on AdamOnline.com. Sedition. It's the mid-14th century rebellion, uprising, revolt, concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority. Okay. Violent strife between factions, civil or religious disorder, riot, rebelliousness against authority. Okay. So against, police officers, federal officers, all that tie in that or encompass that. Alright, they're from Old French. You see there, it goes back to civil disorders, dissension, strife, rebellion, mutiny, or mutiny, literally a going apart, separation. Alright? To what? Separate yourself from the rule of the government, okay? Because once they go too far or doing stuff that's against the people are going to uprise and separate their stuff, all right? It's back to the article. So that's what the word sedition means. All right, we're going to get the description on that. It's 2nd Ezra chapter 15. It said, William Barr told prosecutors of Florida aggressive charge against people arrested at recent demonstration across the U.S., even suggesting bringing a rarely used sedition charge reserved for those who have plotted a threat that posed imminent danger to government authority, according to multiple reports on Wednesday. That the move signaled a doubling down on Barr's aggressive approach to the protest. Barr told U.S. attorneys from across the country during a conference call last week that they should seek to pursue federal charges against people who were arrested at demonstrations, even if state charges could also apply. That's the Wall Street Journal reported. The Journal reported that more than 200 people have been charged with federal crime in relation to the protest, including arson, assault, a federal officer, and gun crime. The dozens of the people who faced charges were protesting in Portland, Oregon, and protesters held nightly demonstrations and faced violent crackdowns from federal agents. The Attorney General suggested that prosecutors could even bring a really used sedition charge with me, a person plotted a threat. So we read that already. That's just, that's why it's proved, that's why you shouldn't be out there protesting. Even if you're not doing what some of the other protesters, rioting and vandalism and stuff like that, you can get caught up into that, okay? Because scriptures say, Yes, 1 Thessalonians 5:22, abstain from all appearance of evil. See? So it's better to avoid from being a part of that, even though you're not doing that. You're gonna look the part. You're going to look like the people that are doing those things. All right. You got the word abstain. It's the refrain. All right. So basically, you got to refrain yourself from being out there protesting, because even if you're just protesting, it can look like you're still doing the vandalism, rioting, and all that sort of thing, and then you get grabbed up by the cop and whatnot. Boom, you hit with the distance charges. All right, that's why you gotta be wise. And the thing to do is stay your ass at home. All right, that's why the true men and Lord, we ain't gonna be out there. We're not out there protesting and stuff. Because in actuality, we already protesting the government. All right, we are already an enemy of the state by preaching this word, by preaching this gospel. We have become the enemy of the state. All right. So what we're talking about, Esau, Edom going down, so-called white people. We're talking about they going to World War III and they're gonna get defeated, and ultimately America's gonna get destroyed. So we're already a targeted enemy of the state. Okay, just by bringing out this scripture. All right. So now we'll go back to the scripture on sedition. It's 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, which is now at the gun. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So you got the right versus the left. All right, Democrat versus Republican. You got people against the government. You got Black Lives Matter. You got Antifa. You got the patriotic people. So all these things are these people will be fighting against each other. All right, with guns in their hand. It's the verse 15. For there shall be the point. For there shall be sedition among men, and evading one another. So they're gonna be sedition. All right. The part of that definition of sedition. Let's go back to sedition. Is what is violent strife between factions. All right. So that's you got different factions that are fighting each other. All right. And also against the government, which is going on net. It said, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their king nor princes. All right, they're not going to be regarding the mayor, the governor, the city official, the president, and so forth and so on. And the courts of their actions shall stand in their power. All right, you see what happened in Capitol Hill, organized protesting in downtown Seattle. See, they for a few days or weeks, they had power in their hand. All right, and it could be more of these uprisings and fashion. Okay, because the scriptures say, what's the Egyptian versus the Egyptian. That's not the one. It's the Bible app. It's the Egyptians versus the Egyptian. Egyptian. then Zephaniah, Zechariah. Here it is, Isaiah 19:2. It said, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. All right, the cities, state versus state versus the federal government. That's what's going on here. All right, back to 2nd Ezra 15:16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their king nor princes, and the courts of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Right, because of martial law, the government got to shut those cities down. All right, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. All right, so that's what's going on. And like the article's saying, how they're gonna bring up sedition charges on those who out there in protest, rioting and looting and vandalizing and property and stuff. All right, and pretty soon people are just start getting gunned down the street. All right, you already had Donald Trump talking about using the that heat wave gun thing, whatever they use on protesters. Okay, so this thing to be heating up and blowing up. All right. So if you want to check out the rest, I'm gonna put the link in the description box. And with that, I'm Wat Love Ball Shalom.